Wow, I'm ready now, almost. Wow, the light command actually went through well on my printer. I turned on my printer and I forgot. Uh-oh. Oh, no, I'm audible again. Sweet. Hopefully my audio isn't messed up. I've been looking back at some of my previous streams, and there are times that I sound like emergency broadcast from Mars and other times that I sound fine. So I'm going to really quickly listen to myself like this. Does this sound okay? This actually sounds okay. I don't know why. Okay, I'm not listening to myself anymore. Monitor off. Jeez, you might have heard an echo since I enabled it for listening to myself there. Anyway, my printer's weird in that it, when I have a command sent through to it to print, if I send other commands, like turn down the lights, it likes to not properly send the signal, at least not all the way through to the end of the lights. The signal doesn't quite go all the way through there. I'm not quite fully prepared here, am I? Hold on. Un momento. What? That isn't the right volume mixer. It should be this. I thought I was ready. I lied. Oh, I guess there's no real game audio at this point anyway, so it didn't really matter unmuting the thing. Yeah, I forgot. I play this game with a controller, don't I? Here we go. There it is. I might want a little sip of tea here in a sec. Because I'm still a little sick. So, when was the last time I streamed this game? I don't remember. I'm gonna find out right now. Let's see. If I look at stream 5, because this is stream 6, stream 5, I did September 27th to 28th, because it was, like, past midnight. It is currently October 5th. Ghost of Yotei just released on the 2nd, and, of course, the day before that, I had to get uber sick and just feel like shit. And I felt really quite bad for a solid couple days. I'm feeling better now, but I'm still coughing. I'm not quite 100%. But I'm no longer, like, energy drained. I can barely do anything. I can actually do things now. And I was looking at the calendar here and thinking, like, what all stuff do I have to do? So if I just do display capture, I pull up, like, the calendar here. So for the month of October here, this weekend was nice and chill. Ghost of Yotei coming out. I couldn't play that much of it on the first couple days because I was dying. And this coming weekend is going to be Canadian Thanksgiving. So this is like the proper day that's Thanksgiving here in Canada. So I'll be going and doing stuff with my dad's side of the family that day, my mom's side of the family this day. And I'll be busy like baking and cooking and stuff like that these couple days. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have for streaming. The following weekend is Hallowland. That's going to be going the 17th to the 19th. And then, okay, there's one more kind of weekend of chill before actual Halloween here. But that is still kind of right around the corner. But anyway, just in terms of Hallowland coming up here, I wasn't planning on playing Xenosaga at Hallowland. I don't have any reason to play Xenosaga specifically before Hallowland, but I sort of do because of this. This is the only one of my layouts that has like a really natural spot for a 3D print cam where it's like, what am I going to do with this spot otherwise anyway? It's just like, hey, look, another art of the game, I guess. It's a 4x3 game. I have space to fill. I may as well put cool shit on there. So I don't want to be doing it during any of my 16x9 games where it actually blocks something in game. But in a game like this where it's 4x3, I'm not blocking anything anyway. It may as well be done here. And I don't know how much time I'm going to have for streaming this next weekend because I'm going to be busy with a whole bunch of Thanksgiving stuff. And we'll see how much time I have throughout the week. So I don't necessarily need to beat this game before Hallowland, but I should at least get this finished before Hallowland. So I wasn't even initially planning on streaming today, but then I realized that earlier today when I was looking at the calendar, I was like, oh crap. I kind of need to do some more printing and be on top of this and not be saving this trophy for the absolute last second and be completely screwing myself here. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. I don't remember if I had shared a photo of the trophy that I'm making here before. I'm sure I probably did. I probably shared it in the Discord here. Let's see here. Yeah, I posted that one photo already. Of the... What? No, I just full screen Discord. What kind of maniac does that? Here, boobity bop. This. I'm doing another one of these trophies. This is the one I did for Fragapalooza 2025. I couldn't get my thinner nozzle to work, so I couldn't realistically fit 2025 in there while retaining detail with my thicker nozzle, so I made do. HalloLand 2025 should be able to fit in. But I was thinking, because this is the Halloween LAN event, maybe I should change up the colors a little bit. And I had the idea, like, what if the ring here, like, instead of being this bronze coppery, was maybe a red, and then the yellow's on top of that. And then maybe here I do an orange or something like that. So orange onto red, and then the side panels are, like, maybe red or something like that. And then I have, like, the red text for HalloLand. So, like, the silvery Mario Kart World, and then, like, red HalloLand 2025 maybe is kind of where I'm thinking about going with this. It might look absolutely amazing and have, like, some cool theming and colors there, or it's going to be, like, the ugliest little disaster you've ever seen. But I feel like I have to print it out to know. I can't really visualize it well otherwise. Because I'm continually sick here, you're going to see me drinking medicinal tea on the side during this stream, so don't mind me sipping here from time to time. And I might munch some grapes because they're healthy and I want to get some nutrition in my system. As for Xenosaga here itself, this is one of those streams where I go into it super cold, and then the moment I start streaming, like, overheating and stuff. I had said I needed to get stronger between streams when that last boss was freaking insane. And all those people online that were like, oh yeah, you don't have to grind in Xenosaga. I got through the game without grinding at all. It's not a game you have to grind in. I looked into some other sites, and while there are some sites where people are saying that, there's other sites that are like, oh yeah, you're going to the Song of Nephilim? Yeah, you should be like level 25, 26, something like that by now. Not like level 21 that I was after leveling up after that last boss battle, or whatever the heck I was. I think I might have been 20. I think I might have reached 21 after I was already doing some stuff here. I leveled up a bit. A shit ton. I took Guzma's advice. Because that might have been after some grinding. What was that the actual end of that last stream? It was probably this one. I probably was at 21. I'm at level 28 now. And, I didn't really want to be taking 3,000 years to grind in this game. Especially when I don't have access to the most recent best area for grinding. Like, the most recent story area. Instead, I have access to the friggin' this is the most recent one. The Encephalon, the place where he went and delved into those memories and stuff. So, so it's not like the grinding here would be particularly great, let's say. So, I was like, yeah, you know, all that changes is the amount of time that I need to take on my own time to get stronger. So, I took Guzma's advice and I grinded the way that we did in Tales of Symphonia, where I figured out after a decent while of tinkering around, getting some cheat codes working to just make the grind faster. And then I got a whole bunch of points to invest in my skills and stuff, a bunch of EXP to get up to a little bit over where that one GameFAQs page was recommending me to be at for the Song of Nephilim, so that I hopefully shouldn't have a same situation happen again. I went to the shop and actually bought some better gear. It was a little bit of a pain to figure out cheat codes with this. I got it figured out. Look, here I did it. I had to get the ID for this game, and then I made a PNAT file in the directory for PCSX2 here. Gave it this stuff at the top. And then there was this site that had codes, which I think I still have the tab open because I was dicking around with this earlier today. Yeah, here it is. This here, that had these codes. But the thing is, I can't just paste in these codes as is. For one, they need to be in, like, a specific format, so I had to figure out that format. You can see that these are commented out, because I didn't want these to still be enabled while I was doing this stream. So the double slashes just means it's commented out. It's not reading it, it's ignoring that bit of code. So it's not loading any cheats for this stream here. But you might notice that the codes here, like, I love how they phrase it as just a hella. I just copied what they had there. Hella EXP gained after battle, which I had figured out was just, you know, that number, which is, you know, it is hella. You might notice that these codes aren't exactly the same. And the reason for that is I had to go through this FAQ about how to use this Omni convert, where you take these codes and you convert them into the actual, like, usable format. So I don't know why they wouldn't just be on this page in this format. So I had to download this, I converted the codes, I figured out the formatting, and I put them in this formatting, and then it finally worked. I have been throwing my head at this on and off since the last stream, and it was only earlier today that I super committed to it, because I was like, oh crap, I gotta get things 3D printed for HoloLens. I kind of want to stream Xenosaga tonight. So I would have been streaming earlier, but I've been frantically dicking around with this until I finally got it working. And then I got it working, and then I got a bunch of EXP and points and stuff like that, and then I spent a while, like, rebuilding my party and getting a whole bunch of abilities and speccing my characters the way that I want and stuff like that. But yeah, recompiled cheat codes over here, yep. I don't know coding, I probably got that wrong. My sibling is a coding genius, though. Recompiling, I presume, here? Or converting? I don't know. I wouldn't, like... I know a decent thing or two about coding. In my current job, that's one of the main things that I'm doing right now, is doing coding. But I have never done anything like this before in my life. This is different. So, so this was a little bit of a journey. I got it figured out. I didn't have to do this. There was an easier way to find the game ID. A new, modern way there. Today, they decided to just make a Minecraft hacked client today. They've actually been doing just that. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to do that. They're brilliant. Nice. Yeah. If you know how to do some cool things with code, you can do some really crazy things. Me, I just make, like, shit posts on my channel, like kicking somebody in Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Valhalla, and then it plays a funny sound effect when my code detects that I've pressed the kicking buttons. Most of my own personal coding projects nowadays are just shit posts for the channel. I do code a decent few shit posts for the channel like that from time to time, and I get a kick out of doing it. I mean, that's relatively simple code. It doesn't take a genius to make something like that. But anyway, I got up a bunch of levels. I still have a whole bunch of, like, ether tech and freaking skill points. I realized that with the skills, to inherit the higher level skills, I didn't need to just spend so many skill points. So I just went across all my equipment. I also found out that if someone currently has something equipped, you can't take the skill off of it. Like, it doesn't appear in this menu. This shows, like, your unequipped gear. So I had to go into my equipment menu, unequip everything from everyone, and in order to get enough, like, skill EXP or whatever the heck the thing is to even be able to level up, I had to inherit, like, freaking everything to spend enough points. So I don't know if you were expected to have just, like, gotten more accessories throughout the course of this game. Have I been missing a whole bunch? But I was only just barely able to level up to the next skill level each time. But I got to skill level 4, I inherited some good skills, like that one thing that gives me an additional AP each turn. So I gave that to, like, all my characters, an additional agility. And I also just have that accessory straight up equipped on Cosmos. So every turn that goes by, Cosmos just gets 6 AP now, and she can do, like, a full set of 3 attacks, like, as much as she wants. So that's what's going on there. Cosmos I have built for, like, all offense, all damage here. Shion, all support. She's all sustained there. Chaos, mostly support. Junior, kind of half support and half damage is what's going on here. So, my current party setup is Cosmos, Shion, and Junior. But I think if I'm really struggling, like with that one last boss battle, I'll probably switch Junior out for Chaos and have Chaos in the back, like I did with the last boss battle, where Cosmos was in the front, Shion and Chaos were in the back, and just fully giving support. So, yeah, that's what's going on here, is we have damage, support, sort of support, and a decent bit damage himself. So yeah. I mentioned my siblings, no plans to release the client and use it on servers. They just want to make one for legal reasons, of course. Ah, yes. Good to disclose that. This is probably cooled off enough. I don't like things that are, like, right at the cusp of boiling. It should hopefully help with my cough. Mullein, or Königskatze, as we call it in German. Helps with, like, respiratory issues. And I grow some of the plants myself, so I just go outside and I chop off a couple leaves and bring them in and make some tea. So, the last time on Dragon Ball Z, the UTIC organization, these bad dudes that want Momo to get the valuable info in her head, came and tried to frame us for something that we didn't do, and then we proved ourselves innocent, and then they were like, well, that didn't work, time to go all nuclear, and then they played the Song of Nephilim, which summoned all these Gnosis here that started murderizing a bunch of people. And then we dealt with the Gnosis, and now we gotta go deal with the Song of Nephilim. We figured out where it's being broadcast from, and Mr. Dudo there has kidnapped Momo, and I guess is gonna get, like, the information the UTIC organization wants out of her head, and we have to run off and go save her, and that's what's going on now. And apparently there's a little bit of a difficulty jump at this point I was reading online, so I knew I needed to kind of power up here. I think we go to the Elsa? That'd be Hanger then, right? No, that's for the skells, or the eggs. That's the one thing I didn't dick around with between sessions. I was thinking about going here and, like, buying a whole bunch of parts and, like, actually decking out my eggs. But when you have so many options on the ground, and the eggs to me just feels like, oh, here's an option to potentially do more damage, but maybe not even so if you have, like, a really good ground setup. It's like, there are some situations where you might want to pop it, but as is, I don't know if it's necessarily something that it seems all that important. Not like going back and forth between Xenoblade Chronicles X Skells, where they're actually a major power-up. Like, of course I get a whole bunch more health and stuff like that if I go into an Eggs, but I still can't get over that name, Eggs. I've been continuing to watch the Xenosaga anime, and I know that it's AGWS, but the fact that all the characters just say it as Eggs, and the line delivery in the anime kills me. The Gnosis are attacking, and they're like, Junior, where are you going? And he's like, I'm going to get my eggs! There should have been a better name, man. Yeah, there's an anime of just this game, just the first one. So when Monolith Soft started making the Xenosaga games, they had a super grand plan for this. They wanted this to be like a massive multimedia thing. This was going to be 6 games. It was going to have an anime adaptation. It was going to have a manga. It was probably going to have a whole bunch of other things that they had planned. Like, they had grand plans, and it never really hit it off enough to justify said grand plans. So I've been watching the Xenosaga anime. They just did it for the first game, like, and then they were like, I guess this isn't worth it to do anymore. And I believe there's a manga that's basically just the very beginning of the first game. I don't think the manga ever continued much past that, but there's a little smidge of a manga too that you can read. So I've been watching the anime, and the anime only has 12 episodes to it. And it's, I just finished episode 10 last night, and I'm almost caught up. In the anime, I'm now at the point where they've basically finished dealing with the Gnosis. I assume there's only 2 episodes left, so I presume we're almost at the end of the game here. So presumably the beginning of episode 11 is when they're like, oh, the Song of Nephilim's being broadcast from over there, let's go there. And I didn't watch episode 11 because I figured that they would go there during that episode, so I'll refrain for now. Yeah, like, they got moderate success, but not enough to make it the massive multimedia thing they want it to be. So, from what I heard, it sounded like Xenosaga 1 did moderately well for itself. Xenosaga 2 did not super great. Like, I assume it was probably still profitable. So, again, Monolith Soft wanted to make this into a 6-game series, and they made 1 and 2 with the intention of this is part 1 and 2 out of 6. But Bandai Namco was like, yeah, or Namco at the time was like, you know, this isn't really hitting the numbers that we'd like. You get 1 more game. So, the story of Xenosaga is finished with Xenosaga 3. It's just that I hear that the pacing of this series is a little bit all over the place, and that 1 and 2 are slow, because they're each a 1/6. And then apparently 3 is, like, super fast-paced because they needed to cram 4 planned games worth of content and storytelling into just 1 game. And I think they had to cut a lot of planned story content because of that, and, you know, be like, wrap up this plot thread, wrap up this plot thread, wrap up this plot thread. We gotta end it! So, from what I've heard there, they had some grand plans, but it didn't work out, and because of that, Xenosaga is a little bit of a unfinished mess in that sense. Apparently, it's still fantastic, from what I hear. Apparently, the storytelling's still amazing, but yeah, really slow 1 and 2 pacing, and then 3, rapid fire. We gotta finish it all. Everything has to end. Everything has to have a satisfying conclusion. Go into the Song of Nephilim, right? Just so you know, I don't intend to leave the Song of Nephilim until we've rescued Momo. You better get ready. Yeah! Man, I can't believe I'm stuck doing this. You better fork over a lot of hazard pay. So that's essentially the rundown of what went on with the Xenosaga series.
Captain, there's an opening to the side where we can dock.
All right.
Bring us in, Tony. Be careful.
Roger. Closing in and approaching the...
Wait!
Huh?
Tony, can you show me the top?
What? You want me to go around the top?
Please, just circle around the top.
Yeah. You're not wrong. First game being rushed and then more time with the later ones.
All right. But once around is all you're getting. Who knows what's up there?
Thank you.
Oh, that's what you mean. I get you. But yeah, true. With this, they wanted 2 trilogies worth of games.
That's it.
Or whatever you call a 6-game
That's
series.
The
Oh,
place
they were
I
stuck with
saw.
1.
Through the hospital window.
Fruit. I need good nutrients and stuff. And they might be able to do more stuff with Xenosaga just in the future here in general, considering, like, it seems like they're trying to rope Xenosaga into the Xenoblade story as well, and, you know, they've already put a lot of Xenosaga content in the Xenoblade games. Like, Xenoblade 2 was probably the game that had the most direct Xenosaga content in it. And there's some bits and pieces in 3 as well, and, you know, there's a little bit of Xenosaga in the Xenoblade series. Which goes to show that Nintendo and Bandai Namco are buddy-buddy. Clearly, Bandai Namco is alright with Nintendo and Monolith Soft using the IP that Monolith Soft made under Namco. Which, you know, is cool. Thanks to Bandai Namco for being cool like that. Instead of just being a dick and being like, yeah, this is our IP, you don't get to touch it, you don't get to do anything with it. So, I don't know if that means that they would ever get to see through some of the original visions that they had for Xenosaga. I would imagine probably not, but if they do build off of Xenosaga, then, you know, they can continue to build off of it. But I imagine their original plans are probably done for? I don't know. Also, the dev hell story Dark Souls 2 went through is fascinating. Like, it was originally a time travel story, and the only real remnant of that in the final game was the giant memories. I think you told me this, told me to this? I think you told this to me once before, and I forgot, and now I'm treating it like it's new information. My brain is... Huh. I don't think I knew that.
You alright?
That one Momo subtitle was very mistimed.
We're too late? Damn that bastard! He's taken her consciousness! I'm gonna make him pay for this! Hold on, Momo. I'll make you whole again. Junior! What happened to Momo? That monster Albedo's gone and reversed the spiritual link.
Reverse the spiritual link?
It's the opposite of what Guinan and I do when we communicate telepathically. But by seizing someone's consciousness, you can delve deep inside the other person's mind and drag out whatever memories you feel like taking. You can't be serious. That means Momo's mind is... Yeah. It's best for you all to go back. I'll handle this on my own.
Wait! It's too dangerous to go alone.
Sorry. This is between me and him. All right?
But still...
Momo... You wanna come with me? I'm going to. Shion... Don't you remember what you told me? This song. It's responsible for destroying Milsha and bringing the Gnosis into this world. If this has anything to do with that place that I know of, then this involves me as well.
Oh, does it now? Yeah, this is my first time going through the Xenosaga series, so... I've seen... Sorry that I'm sick here. And I've seen screenshots and stuff like that from 2 and know that it has a very different art style. Like, maybe it's a consequence of that, potentially? I am also using a texture pack here. I believe it's a texture pack that someone used like AI to just automatically upscale things just so like the resolution is better on the textures, essentially. If memory serves. So it could be a texture pack thing here. Oh no, don't worry about that there. So, if you're looking at this, that could also be the reason why, is because I am loading custom textures here to make it look even better. But yeah, because it definitely didn't look this good on the PS2 when I was a kid. Yeah, I would imagine it probably didn't here. This is one of those games that I wish I had the chance to play as a kiddo. Wow. I had it set up on the side here until recently, but I finally, like, cleaned stuff up here a little bit. Wow. Getting way too warm. Oh, my printer's waiting for a color change. And when I was starting this game, I was debating, like, hey, I own it physically. Should I play it physically or should I play it on emulator? But eventually, like, the convenience, better graphics, and being able to do things like save states if I'm in a really tough spot kind of won out, and I'm very glad that I went down that route. But it would be fun to, like, actually pop this in my PS2 and play away at it one day, I think. Yeah, that's what it feels like for me, I think. But yeah, my brother brought it for me, and now I'm streaming it to him on Discord. Nice. Xenosaga there.